People, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. What happened some few days ago against um Okechukwu Okoye, a lawmaker in Anambra State, has triggered a lot of reactions from Nigeria. Don't forget that a few days ago he was being kidnapped by UGM, and the governor of the state, Charles Soludo, came up and said he needs him to be released immediately. But unfortunately, a day or two ago, we woke up to a very terrible news that the young man is no more alive. And it wasn't just normal killing, but it was something unthinkable. And that has made so many people to talk. And some say that this is the height of it. If someone of that caliber can be treated with so much disdain, then insecurity has gotten to a height that would not be controlled. But then I would like to share one or two reactions of some key stakeholders, especially of Igbo descent. You get to hear what they have to tell Nigerians and the kind of decision they want the federal government to take in respect to the issue of insecurity in the southeast. But before we continue with full details of this, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our videos. One of prominent Nigerian politician talking about Joe Ibekwe, who has been responding to so many issues happening in the southeast, has urged the federal government to declare a state of emergency in the southeast as a result of the region's bloodshed. The leading politician proposed that the military should assume control of the zone until sanity returns and the pace of bloodshed in that area is reduced. Following the death of Okechukwu, the Anambra State lawmaker Joe Ibokwe issued a statement on his Facebook page. And according to him, he said, "What is happening in the southeast is no longer a normal thing. I want the federal government to declare the state of emergency in the southeast and let soldiers take over until sanity returns." Recall that Honorable Okechukwu Okoye, an Anambra lawmaker who represented Oguta 2 constituency in the State House of Assembly, and his aides were being abducted by UGM. Honorable Okechukwu Okoye's head was later recovered in a motor park where the guys who beheaded him had dropped it there. In response to the heinous occurrence, Joe Ibokwe has made the statement, and that proposition has been considered by so many people, and they have reacted to it. Some said, "Why should he propose such a thing in Southeast? This kind of thing has it not been happening in other parts of the country? Why should Southeast? Why should they declare state of emergency in Southeast?" Some have called him so many names which are really unthinkable and all of that. But then, looking at the situation on ground, one begins to wonder what the future will look like if these kind of events keep happening. Now, I think that what is happening right now requires a lot of um, tutoring on the part of the government. The Anambra State governor precisely needs to take out time to visit key stakeholders and the people to talk to them about what is currently happening. We know it's been happening in Kaduna State. We know it's been happening in other parts of the country. But then we know that it's not a good one for Southeast. And before we go further, for the benefit of those who do not really understand what state of emergency really means. A state of emergency is actually a situation of national danger or disaster in which a government will suspend normal constitutional procedure, especially in the area of leadership of that particular environment, in order to regain full control, you understand, of that environment. That's why it's always a time where the government will just, bring up the government itself will empower some persons, mostly military, and the reason is to see how they can put so much control in that environment so that at least the lives of the people there can be protected, and also they can enjoy safety and protection, all of that. That's what state of emergency actually means, which therefore means that there will be seizure of something like democracy in such an environment. Military will be fully in charge and all of that. But guess what? With this suggestion by Joe Ibokwe, most people do not see it in that light. They just believe is that one of those things that will always happen in an environment where the leader seems not to do, or seems not to do what they are supposed to do. You understand? Such will happen. But right now, most Nigerians are saying, Mbano, don't even think of bringing it to Southeast. After all, we've seen war situation, in the northern part of the country. Katsina, there was a time it was very hot there. Borno also, that was the ideal place that they would have declared state of emergency, where even the governor was under serious attack. We've had other places, Kaduna and other places, but they did not declare it. So why should they also declare it in Southeast? But away from all of that, the issue of declaration of state of emergency, the big question is, which I want you to go on to our comment section and let's talk there, is at the level that insecurity and call it danger is at the Southeast. What's the ideal thing that the governors should do to curtail it? Because I know a lot of them come around to listen to our discussion here. What do you think? Just go to our comment section, because I'm going to give my own, but I want to also hear you talk so that at least we can help in salvaging the lives of people who are there. Most of the people will say, hey, let them continue, let them do this, do that. You are staying outside the shores of the country. That's why you're talking the way you're talking. Because if you are living there and you are hearing this thing happen every day, your heart will be bleeding because nobody can tell who is going to be the next. So whatever the UGM, no, whatever their grievances are and all of that, going an extra mile, littering the whole place with blood, which will have an aftermath effect, both spiritually and physically, is not something we should be celebrating. It's something we should talk about and see how we can bring it to a final full stop. Now, first of all, I feel that the people are really supporting this UGM, which I believe that they are product of a political, trouble, political argument and all of that. Certain people are behind them. I know so much that it may not be IPOP. Well, I know people are blaming, say it's IPOP and all, but I doubt it. I really doubt. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm always very objective, but I doubt it if it is them. I feel that they don't want any peace to be found in Anambra State, so that whatever plan that the current governor have, he won't be able to perform it. So what should be done? I believe that if the governor take out time to talk to the people and let them understand the aftermath of all of this thing and how it has slow paced his plan of changing the narrative, economic narrative of Anambra State, you know, take out time to talk to them so that if there's any way they can help the government at this point, they can do so. Because quietly looking at this, before we know, the thing will escalate to a level whereby no one will be able to fix it again. So right now, what I'm saying is that the ball is in the court of the people. The people can't correct this anomaly. The people themselves, if they mean to correct it, they can, because those guys are living within them. No matter who they are, no matter how strong they are living within them. So they can pinpoint and say, this is the people, these are the people, these are the people, and they just have a structure where this information will be passed through, and those guys will put on that check, and at least normalcy will return again. Nigerians are not happy about it, but I don't support the state of emergency. You understand, because most of the time it triggers a lot of things. But something very serious, very an emergency step must be taken to correct all of this. And that's why I like to leave it. But I want to hear.